time, just a really big time game. What a great crowd. I want to thank T-Mobile and the people who helped put the game on. We planned this well over a year ago, and we thought it might be a showcase game, and it was. But having this type of crowd was amazing. Obviously, we feel great about the win. We think we beat an outstanding basketball team. Mark's team, Mark and I are very, very close friends. And their team advances the ball, pushes it up the court faster than any team we've competed against for a long time. I can't even remember. So put a lot of pressure on us, and then we advanced the ball too. And had a lot of adversity with Paolo getting cramps and had to get an IV. And I thought Mark had a sensational game, but the leadership of my captain was, I think, the key to the game. Wendell Moore was absolutely spectacular in his leadership, especially at the timeout when they took the lead and we had turned the ball over. The things he said and his demeanor and what he said to his team, he really led us to a victory. It was really a player's game. So you want to ask any questions to these guys, please.
Paolo, how did you feel, in the second half when you decided you had to come out, and how did you get yourself to the position to come back to the game?
Yeah, man, I'm not sure what it is. This game, Kentucky game, I've been cramped all season besides those two games, so yeah, once I felt it, I tried to run it off, and then I just completely, almost fell over. Both my quads just locked up, and at that point I knew I had to come out, and then getting the IV, drinking a bunch of fluid, I felt good enough to come back, and trying to help finish. I was watching the game on the TV, screaming at the TV, and so I wanted to come out there and just do what I could. I felt real limited out there, but I knew I could, be solid enough to help us. So I just wanted to come out there and be solid and help us secure the win.
Let me add one more. Just having him there helps, with his teammates, because not only that, they're concerned about him, and these guys give each other strength. He's not giving us strength being in the locker room, and even if he couldn't play as much, he gave us a lot of strength.
Hey, Paolo, I know this isn't your first head-to-head matchup with Chet, but you guys faced off at the Iverson Classic late last year, but just give me your thoughts on the matchup with him and, some things that you saw from him that you haven't seen before.
Chet's a great player. Like you said, we played against each other before. I think he played well. He made some tough shots. Obviously, he's a game changer on defense. I had a couple layups that usually against anybody else I would score or it'd be a dunk, but because Chet's down there, I wasn't able to finish. So like that as an example, how he changes the game, and then he also brings a skill game on the offensive end. So yeah, great player for sure.
Coach, can you talk a little about your relationship?
Sure. Can you question the players first?
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for including me, though.
Wendell, talk about what you guys were able to do offensively. You got able to get off to a good start, particularly from three-point land there in the first half, then just kind of get the groove going throughout the rest of the game. It was a pretty impressive offensive performance you guys were able to put on from that standpoint.
So in the first half, I used to made a lot of shots, but so this guy right here, he basically carried us in the first half. He scored, 20 in the first half?
Yeah.
Of our 18 hour points we had. Yeah, but he led us offensively. We just followed his lead. He was going, so we just got the ball every time we could, and he was scoring it. And when he's scoring like that, our offense is at a high. And the main thing for us is just keep moving the ball, really just getting everybody touches, making everybody feel comfortable. And I feel like that's when we play our best.
Mark, from the beginning of your freshman year to today, your game has expanded. You've come so far. I wonder if you can just kind of speak to validation that you feel when you have a performance like this on this stage, and all the work that's gone into that.
Yeah, definitely. Not feeling like I've worked hard, but at the same time, I
gotta give credit to my teammates. Especially today, they found me in a lot of the right places, whether if it was fast breaks, lobs, or just post entries, whatever it was. Just being able to, get the ball and convert. I think was probably the biggest thing tonight.
Your ability to kind of change the game defensively and change the game at the rim. Just what's your mindset kind of going into specifically that area that you can affect change?
Yeah, I mean tonight especially, we knew, Chet and Drew, obviously really talented players. So knowing that, you're gonna have to bring in every possession on the defensive end, because they go through them a lot. So just really being able to protect the rim, making all the right decisions defensively, talking, rotations, whatever it is. So.
This is for Wendell. Watching you this year, it's clear your level of confidence is a lot different. It seems like you've really kind of taken that step forward this year and leadership-wise as well. Can you sort of tell us about that and sort of your offseason and kind of what you have done sort of get to this point?
I think for me that confidence really started in the offseason. Basically once our season ended last year, it wasn't really a downtime for me. I was really right back on campus with Coach Ross, strength coach. Just doing as much as we can, just prepare for the season. And that's really where the confidence comes from. And on top of that, my teammates believe in me. Every time they pass me the ball, they know. Really hope I can do some good with it. That gives me so much confidence on the court, just playing with these guys, knowing that they believe in me. Really just feel like there's nothing I can't do about it with these guys on my side.
Willie Ramirez with the Associated Press. For any one of you three, if not all three, was it important for you to come out, considering the way that Gonzaga has opened the season, both of you 6-0, but was it important for you to come out and cliche, punch the bully in the mouth and sort of just seize control, knowing you had the momentum of the crowd, and just sort of steal all the momentum?
We didn't steal enough momentum. They stole it right back. So.
Yeah, I mean for any game, I think you just want to start the game on the right note, come out aggressive. That dictates the rest of the game. So I don't think. I mean, obviously we knew it's a high-level game, but I don't think we're gonna do anything particularly outside of ourselves. We just want to go out there and win every game we play. So.
Thanks, Wendell. Coach mentioned what you said in the huddle that would make a difference for the team. What was it, and what led you to make that speech?
I guess in PG words, it was just like we got to pick it up.
No, sometimes when a leader says stuff, he doesn't remember what he said. I remember what he said. We said, be strong with the ball. Let's get going. We can't be giving them layups. It's like talking like he's saying the things I should have been saying, but when it comes from a player, it's better. It's better, and especially that moment. That's a critical moment. I've been in a lot of games. We could have got knocked out right there. And what that kid did at that timeout was big time. It was really big time.
One more, go to the front.
For all three of you guys, or whoever wants to answer, what did it mean to you to pull off a win like this for your coach, with it being his last season?
They're not playing for me. Don't even, I hate to.
Yeah.
It's not about me. It's about us.
Right.
It's about us. But if you guys want to answer it any other way,
Yeah.
and remember, I'm in control of practice. I appreciate you saying that.
Of course.
But this is our moment together.
Yeah.
Not my moment. It's our moment together.
And what are some of those lessons of being a team, having that character, and being able to come out on top as a team unit that coaches taught you and instilled in you, maybe even on and off the court?
Coming into the game, we just wanted to be ourselves. Like Mark said, we wasn't trying to get outside of ourselves. Obviously we know they're the #1 team, they're a high-powered machine. But we felt like, if we played our best and did what we do best, we was gonna have a real shot and be able to, come out with a win. And coach, since the off season, every day we've been trying to come in and be consistent. And practice well. One thing is no bad practices. That's what we try and have as a standard on the team. So, when you just stack days like that, come in every day and be consistent. Big games like this, you're able to pull out wins and battle it out.
All right, thanks, Paul. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. By the way, Mark Williams had a great game. You saw two of the best shot blockers in the country, protect the basket for their team, and you still had 80 points from each team. It's a big time game. This is a big time game. A lot of really good players on that court. A lot of really good players. And the kid, Strother, is that the right? Big time. He's a key guy for them. We thought he was good. He was better. He was better. Any questions?
Yeah, Coach, was just wondering if you could talk to me a little bit about the atmosphere here. Obviously, a lot of fans on both sides and pretty high energy from the start. So just wondered about your thoughts on that, kind of what that contributed to your guys' play and what it might have given them too.
Yeah, well, these kids are going to be playing in front of a lot of big-time crowds during their lives, during their careers. And we're fortunate that in our program, we're able to schedule some games that could produce a high level of attendance, and same thing with Gonzaga. And so when we had an opportunity to talk about this game, Mark and I wanted to play this game. It's a showcase game, and they have an amazing program, and so do we. And so it'll attract a lot of attention. I mean, it's probably the game this year so far. And we all realize that, Las Vegas has become really an amazing basketball town. Obviously with Tark, with UNLV, but with all the tournaments being run here, I wish they'd still bring those AU tournaments back at the end of July. Las Vegas is a huge sports town, and so we wanted to play the game here. And we played the first game, the first collegiate game here a few years ago, so we wanted to come back.
Coach, can you just talk about your relationship with Las Vegas over the years? First, of course, with USA Basketball, and you mentioned the battles you had with UNLV over the years. Can you talk about that?
The beginning of the relationship wasn't that good. It was the first year because they beat us by 30. Those were, during those 2 years, it was amazing. But we developed friendships here. Personally, my wife and I became great friends with the Wynn, and Elaine is one of our dearest friends. And in USA Basketball, when we tried to build a culture, we did build a culture. Las Vegas was the place to have it, and the Wynn was the place at that time to do it. And we spent 11 years there. It's kind of I was telling the kids, we're using the same rooms, the same hallway, the same bus, not the same bus, but the same entrance that we used for USA Basketball. So in our first meeting that night, when we got here, I said, this is where I grew up, and LeBron James sat there, Kobe Bryant. And so you guys are sitting in a place that where great people were and great teams, and you're in a town of greatness, and we're going to play like we just soak it all up, and I thought our guys did. They really responded. Yeah.
I asked Mark about his growth and development from his freshman year on, and I wonder, obviously.
From Mark Williams?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's just a sophomore, so.
Yeah, but just the way that he's expanded everything from the very, this time, that last year.
Yeah.
Seems dramatic, so what have you seen there?
Well, the COVID year hurt all those kids because they didn't have a summer and a fall of individual